All right, what's up, you all? Hope you all are doing well this Wednesday evening. This is part two of When the Heart is Black, the Devil is Light. And again, we are in a spiritual battle. And, I talk a lot about what it means to be Black and how being Black has nothing to do with appearance, but everything to do with a mindset, everything to do with programming, everything to do with spiritual bondage. So yeah, that's what we are. When the heart is black, the devil is light. And I came up with this title because I realized that if your outlook on life is that of bondage or that of lack or that of constant need or that of being subjugated or that of being helpless, then your refuge is not going to be in God. It's just not. The Bible says it's impossible to please God without faith. So desperation doesn't move God, faith does. And I say that often because what the church teaches is that if you go to God and you can cry good enough and you can wail and scream loud, and God's going to hear you. If God is judging your heart, then you don't even have to speak anything and God knows what you're saying. And so when you put all of your stock in your appearance, this is what you get. You're going to get allegiance to Satan. Shout out to my to my cousin. She hit me up and told me that she's a realtor. And I want to tell everybody out there right now that it's never too late. The Bible says, though it tarries not. And so this has been years in the making for her. I didn't know she wanted to be a realtor, but I did know that she had ambitions in life and she had some roadblocks and some setbacks. But I want to tell everybody listening today that let her be inspiration, that it's never too late. It's never too late for you to be who God wants you to be. It's never too late for you to fulfill your purpose. It's never too late. Though it tarries not. And I believe that the years that we lose or the years that get wasted, God will give us those years back. The Bible talks about God giving us back, the years the locusts ate up. And so I look at that the same way in our lives. We spend years basically wasting time. We spend years in fear. We spend years in wasteful behavior. We spend years in giving ourselves over to the world and to Satan. And so I believe that God, once we are redeemed, that God will give us those years back. And so shout out to my cousin. I'm so proud of her and so happy that she was able to become a realtor. It almost seemed like it was overnight. Just a few months ago, she was doing something else, and now she's an actual realtor in California. She has the potential to be very successful and make a lot of money. So I'm really proud of her. I want to let you know it's never too late. Anyway, hope you're having a good evening. What's up, Nikki? What's up, Jessica Girl? What's up, Paul? What's up, Tierra? What's up, Irita? What's up, everybody on Instagram? Somebody said stay on code. Somebody said stay on code. Again, this is a lack of faith. Imagine somebody waking up and they believe that another race of people is supreme. Think about that. Think about your existence on earth. Now think about you needing water to live, you needing air to live, you needing food to live. Think about your basic necessities in life being controlled by another group of people. That means they're your God. So it's just funny that people just say these things, white supremacy, white privilege, but what you're really saying is that you're inferior to another group of people. Meanwhile, they're not even thinking about you. They're not even thinking about you. When the heart is black, the devil is light. There's a lot of right now. There's disasters in America. I know North Carolina, places in the South where they got hit by that hurricane. Areas are destroyed. I want you to go online and see the group of people that are giving aid to those places that are ravaged with disaster. I want you to just go on social media, type in the hurricane name or type in the state, and just tell me the group of people that you see administering aid to those in need. You see, one thing that Caucasians have over most races is they don't have any pride. Their culture is not built on pride. Their culture is built on sacrifice. That's why anytime something is wrong in the world, they're the ones that rush to the rescue. There's a reason why Superman is Caucasian. There's a reason why Batman is Caucasian. If you look at real life, the people that play superhero in the world are white people. Anytime there's a disaster in the world, white people go in their pockets and go in their resources and they give to those in need anytime. I can just tell you in Atlanta, all these schools filled with young black children. Who do you think giving them kids money? Who do you think is funding these schools? There was one school that I was at, and the basketball teams needed uniforms. They needed, the facility was everything was just down. And you would think in Atlanta there would be no institution that was all black that would be suffering. It's not the case. Most institutions in Atlanta that are black are suffering. Anyway, and you'll find that most charity in the black community is only done as a flex. White people go into these communities anonymous and give without being known. So there was one day, I forgot who she was, but she saw the team. She went to the school. I don't even know how she even got to the school, but she went to the school. She talked to the coach. She looked at the kids and she said, where are the uniforms? Where are the towels? Where are the water bottles? She's like, where's the stuff? And he was like, oh, it's not in the budget. She was like, huh? That lady saw them children, got on the phone, called somebody at Converse. Them kids had all the shoes they wanted, uniforms, warm-ups, water, everything off of what she just saw. Now, a lot of black folks saw them children suffering, but nobody, as they say, nobody busted a move. A move wasn't bust. So I've been around the nonprofit game. I was in the education game, nonprofit game. So I've seen where the money comes from. I've seen who gives. I've seen who gives with no strings attached. So I've been on the quote unquote front line during all of this stuff. So I've seen what happens when black children are struggling and suffering, who actually steps in and steps up. And I can assure you, it's not the kings and the queens. It's not. So, we can keep blaming a group of people, but whenever there's a disaster in the world, I know who's not going to show up. I don't know who's going to show up, but I know who's not going to show up. So, but let's continue. Let's continue. But again, shout out to my cousin for becoming a realtor. I'm so proud of her. I'm happy and I'm excited. And even think about Keisha. Keisha told me that she had been divorced for 11 years. She told me that she had lost hope in moments. Just think about being divorced and being single, well, not single, but being divorced for that long and really kind of giving up on marriage. And then one day you look up and you get married. The Bible says, though it tarries not. And if we are faithful and we're diligent, that's what happens. So I'm just excited. It's never too late, y'all. What do you want me to expound on? What do you want me to expound on? This is what I'm telling you all, right? The only way it's going to count is if all odds are against you and you still have faith. If you want God to move, then have all the odds stacked against you and still trust God. That's how you get God to move. You want to see something shake? That's how you get something to shake. All the odds are against you. There's no way out. You're about to lose, and you still have faith. It's down to the last 3 seconds in the game. You got the ball. You still got faith. I'm just saying. So my whole point is that we are to never lose hope. We are to never lose faith. We are to always trust God even to the end. So what I'm saying is, if my cousin can become a realtor, if Keisha can get married, if I can even wake up in 2020, then anything is possible. So that's what I'm saying. But let's continue. You said who won't show up? You know who won't show up. Listen, why do we come on? This title is called When the Heart is Black, the Devil is Light. Why do we act like the community cares about charitable acts? The kings and queens don't care about the rest of the world. The kings and queens don't care who's suffering. Why are we acting brand new? Why is it when I get on here, y'all act brand new, but in real life, you see what's going on? I told you that I worked for years in education. I worked for years in the nonprofit sector. I know where the money's coming from. I know who has a giving heart. It's not the community. If you ask anybody that is a server or a waiter, and you ask them who is the worst customers, they're going to tell you the kings and the queens. Why is that? Why does every server or waiter, regardless of race, say that those group of people right there are the worst tippers? Why? I'm not making this up. That's because there's a spirit that is pervasive. It's narcissism. It's being self-centered, selfish. It's a spirit. When the heart is black, the devil is light. If you feel like you are oppressed, you're not going to be charitable. If you feel like a group of people are keeping you down, you're not going to be a good person. That's a myth. The children of Israel were oppressed by the Pharaoh. How did they act when they got free? They were more decadent than the Egyptians. So this notion that people are oppressed, but they're still good people is a farce. If you don't believe me, go to any impoverished area and see how they exist. Matter of fact, don't go to any impoverished area. Go to any hood in America and see how they act. Go to any hood and see if they build in pyramids. See if they build in ancient Kemet. They even tell you can't come here, talk about a sundown town. You can't go into most hoods when the sun is down. When the heart is black, the devil is light. I know who gives and I know who doesn't. Matter of fact, I know who gives and I know who scams. So let's continue and start back in brand new. Talking about a sundown town. Him downtown. Talking about a sundown town. Him downtown. The audacity. Homicide rate through the roof, talking about a sundown town. And you can't go outside in your own neighborhood at night. Him downtown. Okay, where's my video? Where is my, let me see. So I went live on Monday. Here I go. Okay, here I go.
I was thinking this. I was looking up these places, right, that this Hurricane Helena hit. Majority of them are like places that we not there. That's not for us. This is a white party only. Didn't you know this? Right? Type situation. And even though it's tragic, people are losing their houses, businesses, everything, right? It's kind of weird that the places that the hurricane was supposed to hit really hard, it didn't hit really hard, and the places that were like in the middle of nowhere are just being leveled to a point of non-existence, right? And it's like, why is it that? Why is it that these towns that are not diverse at all getting destroyed, and the cities that are diverse are getting flooding, but not too bad, right? Make it make sense, because it doesn't make sense to me. But also as well, they say that the hurricane is the spirit of a black woman that were necessarily enough thrown over the boats during slavery. So, you know what I'm saying?
Imagine these people saying they don't believe in Jesus, but they believe that the slaves that were thrown off the boat have formed into hurricanes. Imagine these people telling you that the Bible is fake, ain't no Jesus, but they believe that the women that were thrown off the boat went into the ocean and became hurricanes. Think about that. Think about all these people telling you that Christ is not real, but then turn around and tell you the most outlandish things ever. They're aliens. This man just said that the hurricanes were former slaves thrown off the ship into the ocean. That's believable. But Jesus ain't. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You tell me. Because to me, what it looks like is karma. It might be karma. It might be. Or it's just a happy coincidence that these sundown towns got devastated by this hurricane. I don't know. You tell me. Like, share, comment.
Have you ever heard someone mention the consequences for the abortion rate in the Black community? Have you ever heard someone mention the consequence for the homicide rate in the Black community? Have you ever heard them get on these platforms and say what the consequence is for what's happening in the community? This is because psychologically, white people are viewed as not just gods, but also the buffer for sowing and reaping. So in other words, when God decides, when God is upset, they get the brunt of it. Because they're in charge, because they have the privilege, because they're supreme, when God exacts judgment, it's on them and not the folks they are quote unquote oppressing. So which means that black people get a free ride. If your bad behavior is only caused by what white people did, then technically you can't be held accountable for your bad behavior. Because after all, it's what white people did. Now you all do know that's not going to fly in heaven. So you all on Judgment Day, you just know this, on Judgment Day, blaming white folks ain't gonna work. Because when they play the tape, all of your dirt was done with no white folks around. So it's not gonna work. But this guy said that it's karma for the sundown towns. I guarantee if you, first of all, I don't even believe in a sundown town. I just don't believe it. But even if there was a sundown town, you could get all the sundown towns that ever existed and get all of the I guess lynchings that happened there, and it wouldn't equal 1 month in the US of black homicide. It wouldn't equal 1 week. Forget a month. It wouldn't equal 1 week in America. Let's continue.
Democrats are losing their faith in Joe Biden?
I think politics is BS and it don't benefit my people. How do we get to this land?
We migrated here.
No, how did black people get to this land?
They came over here in boats.
By who? Did they come willingly or was we kidnapped?
I don't know. Are you happy to be here?
You don't know? You don't know history?
I know they came over here on the slave boats, right? From Africa.
Was that by our own will?
So are you saying you want to be back in Africa?
I want to be back in my homeland. So if you was
it's a plane ticket away though.
If you was I'm talking about all my people.
It's a plane ticket away.
All my people.
Now, so again, these are character conversations. He said, I want to be back in my homeland. He said, it's only a plane ticket away. Then he moves the cheese. What you'll find is that when it comes to the kings and queens, most of them are from Wisconsin. They are professional cheese movers. So first he says, I want to be in my homeland. His reply is, okay, it's a plane ticket away. Then he says, all my people. So now he gives an unrealistic goal because all black people, the majority of black people, 99.9% of black people don't want to live in Africa. 99.9% of black people do not want to live in Africa. They don't. So he's giving him an impossible situation. It's impossible. So now this conversation is starting off in very bad faith. Let's continue.
So if your people was kidnapped and put in a ship and taken somewhere, if you want to go back home?
Yeah, if I wanted to, I'd buy myself a plane ticket and go back. What do you think about these guys over here?
They're total racists, man. They got anger from what happened 300 years ago, and they just hate white people. They want to be victims. They want to continue the victim and the division.
Do you enjoy white people?
Well, that's a judgment on us, because you don't know me, where I came from.
You, boy.
Well, you can ask me, boy.
You, boy.
Racist, you racist.
Boy. Don't call him boy.
White privilege? Do you enjoy white privilege? Yes or no?
Does it exist?
Does it exist?
Does it exist?
Does black privilege exist?
No, it doesn't exist.
It exists because you're out here towards people,
Shut
boy.
up. Shut
You
the
shut
fuck
the fuck up. You're going to assault me now?
Oh, you're going to assault me? That was you devil.
Fuck you, man.
You said that because the police are right there, but you're really a bitch.
Yeah.
Because they wasn't right
Oh,
there.
is that the police?
Yeah, that's the police, sucker. To hell with your society.
We weren't even asking hard questions and they got mad.
So again, these are character questions. These guys are on the street and they're saying that the white people have privilege, but you're allowed to be openly racist on the street to white people. Nobody even bothers you. Think about that. Think about you on the street with a microphone, speaker set up, with a bunch of people saying racial slurs to white people, saying they have privilege. Do you understand the insanity behind it? When the heart is black, the devil is light. This man just got upset. He can't even have a civil conversation. He's talking about privilege, but he's able to stand on a corner and make racist comments towards a privileged group. I'll give you a scenario. Go to India and let the bottom caste person get on the street corner and talk about the Brahmin caste. Let me go to the caste in India, just so I can give you all a crash course in commonless people. These commonless folks. These commonless people. So in the caste system, we have the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, and the Shudras. So the Shudras are the lower class. So what do you think would happen in India if a Shudra was on a street corner with a microphone saying racial slurs or just slurs, period, to the Brahmin class? What do you all think would happen? I want to put privilege in perspective. What do you all think would happen if the Shudra class was on a street corner in India with a microphone saying slurs to the Brahmin caste? What do you think would happen to the Shudra? Somebody said death. Somebody said jail. It'd probably be death. To be honest with you all, it would probably be death. And it would be death because just imagine the audacity of it. To get the microphone, the speakers, and the setup, and then you harass them walking down the street. Could you just imagine? A guy that said life sentence in prison. So again, if black people are able to go on street corners and say racial slurs to black people, then clearly there has to be a privilege, because anywhere else in the world is going to be met with a severe punishment. Go to China, go on the street corner with the microphone and talk about the government and see what happens. Anywhere else in the world, this doesn't fly. Let's continue. Let's play it again.
Do you think the Democrats are losing their faith in Joe Biden?
I think politics is BS and it don't benefit my people. How do we get to this land?
We migrated here.
No, how did black people get to this land?
They came over here in boats.
By who? They become willingly, or was we kidnapped?
I don't know. Are you happy to be here?
You don't know? You don't know history?
I know they came over here on the slave boats, right?
Slave boat.
From Africa.
Was that by our own will?
So are you saying you want to be back in Africa?
I want to be back in my homeland. So if you was
it's a plane ticket away, though.
If you was, I'm talking about all my people.
It's a plane ticket away.
All my people. So if your people was kidnapped and put in a ship.
All your people don't want to go back to Africa. Black folks in America have no desire to go to live in Africa. Zero desire. Why would they leave structure to go to chaos and disorder? They're not going to do it. But if you want to go, then go over there. But you know the Hebrew Israelite rhetoric don't work over in Africa. You see, what you'll find is that most of this bliggity talk over here, it doesn't work anywhere else. There's no market for it outside of America. There's no market for the bliggity talk in Africa. There's no market for the bliggity talk in the Caribbean. There's no market for it. So these people would have to move somewhere and just be regular people. They're not going to do it. They have too much pride and narcissism. They're not going to go somewhere and leave this platform. They have a platform here. There's privilege here. I'm able to get on my soapbox and put my finger at white people all day. But when you go somewhere, everybody looks like you, who you going to blame then? I guarantee you won't go over talking about their government. I guarantee y'all won't go over there, move to one of them countries where the government is openly corrupt and say a word about them. You won't do it. Because you'll get your head knocked off.
And taken somewhere.
If
you wouldn't go back home?
Yeah, if I wanted to, I'd buy myself a plane ticket and go back. What do you think about these guys over here?
They're total racists, man. They got anger from what happened 300 years ago, and they just hate white people. They want to be victims. They want to continue the victim and the division.
Do you enjoy white privilege?
Well, that's a judgment on us, because you don't know me where I came from.
You, boy.
Well, you can ask me, boy.
You, boy.
Racist, you racist.
Boy.
Man.
Don't
Do
call
you
him
enjoy
boy.
white privilege? Do you enjoy white privilege? Yes or no?
Does it exist?
Does it exist? Does it fake?
exist?
Does white privilege exist?
No, it doesn't exist.
It exists because you're out here being racist towards people,
Shut
boy.
up. Shut the fuck up.
And again, the white guy hit him with a fatality. He said it doesn't exist because you're on the street right now being racist. Like he said, it don't exist. Do you realize? I'm gonna find this video where they were having a meeting in the city of Seattle. They were having a city meeting, and in the city meeting they were referring to white people as devils or demons or something, like actually referring to them as that. The stuff that white people are going through, you don't think they're going through it because they actually have resiliency. They're not thin-skinned. They're not weak-hearted. They're not weak-minded. You wouldn't believe, even when it comes to giving jobs, the media. Go find a movie right now where there's a movie that came out recently where there's a positive image of a normal conservative white person. Go find a show, movie where there's a positive image of a white person. Go find any type of platform where they're saying white folks are doing a good job in this area. You're not going to find it. They literally get the blame of the problems of the world. And yet they still show up and help those in need. They still show up and help folks in need, even though they get demonized for doing it. Let's continue.
God, you're going to assault me now?
Oh, you're going to assault me? That's what you want, you devil.
Fuck you, man.
You said that 'cause the police are right there, but you're really a bitch.
Yeah.
Because they wasn't right
Oh,
there.
is that the police?
Yeah, that's the police, sucker. To hell with your society.
We weren't even asking hard questions and they got mad.
We not even asking them hard questions and they got mad. They don't want to compete. Feeling like you're oppressed doesn't give you a feeling of wanting to compete. It doesn't. You want to gain leverage. That's why in every conversation they bring up race to gain the leverage. They know once they bring up race, the tone of the room is set differently. Let's continue. When the heart is black, the devil is light.
In case you missed it, the tax-funded Minneapolis food pantry is now banning whites from getting food. Resources found in here are intended for Black and Indigenous folks. Please refrain from taking anything if you're not. 100% free resource hub. In it, you'll find fresh produce, plant-based goods, educational tools, and medicinal herbs. Black Leo, black lead, black. A 54-year-old chaplain stopped by the pantry for himself, but was denied because he was white. Went over there and confronted her. I told her that I saw the sign and asked if she really thought she could take grant money from the state and discriminate against poor white people. And she accused the chaplain of political violence. There was no one there directly turning them away. You didn't need a person because you had a sign. They felt entitled to the resources that were not there for their demographic. White privilege is real. Like the prime example that it's not. Also, who else is getting this mug?
So this is a true story. I looked this up, and y'all know it's true. I mean, y'all know this is again, we've already established that when you want to get the leverage, you just bring up something racial. So it's a tactic that's often used. It's a way to not be accountable. It's a way to win an argument. It's a way to get leverage. We already see it. So it's really, if it's a way to win an argument, if it's a way to win to put yourself on a pedestal, if it's a way to gain leverage, if it's a way to demean somebody or silence somebody, then that's privilege. If you bringing up race allows you to subjugate another race in any way, then that's privilege. That's actual privilege, because a white person can't put a sign up that says just for white people. In fact, white people can't say white only anything. Everybody else can say only this, but there's only one group that can, which by default means you're putting that group above everybody else, because we can do it like little children, but the adults can't do it. The resources found in here are intended for Black and Indigenous folks. Now that FOLX is a double meaning of communism, but also the LGBTQs. So that folks encompasses all the groups. It encompasses all of them. Not just the communists, Marxists, but also the LGBTQs, also the woke bliggities, so on and so forth. But the resources found in here are intended for Black and Indigenous folks. Please refrain from taking anything if you're not. So that sign right there, just imagine if a white person posted that sign. Kamala would come out tomorrow and address the nation on it. Joe Biden will come out. So again, we see a big difference in the treatment of the Caucasian and the king and the queen. But again, the goal is for you all to justify not just the violating of white people's rights, but also the humane treatment of white people. Because the goal behind this is for you all to go on the warpath and start slaughtering the Caucasians. That's the goal. You see, communism has to have an antagonist. Communism has to have an antagonist for you to focus on and fight against. And it just so happens that the communist antagonist, the socialist antagonist, the Marxist antagonist, the globalist antagonist is the conservative white people. We can agree that most CEOs of these companies, these large corporations, are liberal. The media is liberal. The whole machine is liberal. So who are they going after? If the whole machine is liberal, who are they going after? Who are the bad guys? I'll tell you, it's the everyday, average, working white person. That's why they say when they mention Trump as representing the disgruntled white person. That his base is the poor, disgruntled, racist, Christian white person. My husband is a barber, and he asked some white people if they were aware of this, and most were clueless. Yeah, because you know why? Because white people would see that sign and just keep walking. They just wouldn't go. So what I'm saying is that White culture understands that people are ignorant and bad things happen to everybody. So the average white person isn't even going to care about the sign, they just go somewhere else. So, of course, they don't know. They don't care. They're going to still live their life. They don't have an excuse-based mentality. And I'm talking about conservative believers. I'm talking about Christian conservative white people. The white liberals will love this sign. The white liberals will see this and clap, take pictures by it, have a great time. I'm talking about the Christian conservative white who they're doing this to. The poor white person. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's get a brief intermission.
It's like Joe Biden has stuck his foot all the way in his mouth.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Black people saved your political life in the primaries this year. They have things they want, and one of them is a black woman running mate. What do you say to them?
What I say to them is that I'm not acknowledging anybody who's being considered, but I guarantee you there are multiple black women being considered. Multiple. You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Unchain Wall Street. They're gonna put you all back in chains.
Little brief intermission. Love you, Blanche. I feel like you're my brother from another. For those people demeaning whites, I'd rather live around conservative blacks well before living around white liberals. African said, I don't see how anyone can call themselves Christians and vote Democrats.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Eat the cat, eat the cat. 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 They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
Y'all can't see it, but somebody made that song with a fashion show. And it's the cats on the runway. I'm gonna play it again.
They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat. They're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Eat the cat, eat the cat. 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 They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
Yeah. I thought it was a good video. I got another one I'm going to play later. I got another one. Anyway, let's continue. So let me switch gears real quick so I can go to give you an example of. Hold on 1 second. Let me just go to this real quick. So I just want to show you something real quick. And I want to show you how how can I say this? I need to get to a particular part of this video.
Took several forms after the outpouring of grief on social media from his fans and supporters with various hip-hop celebrities.
So I was watching this thing on Jimmy Wapo. Jimmy Wapo was killed a few years ago. on the same day that Extortion was killed. But Jimmy Wapo, this is interesting about how the city responded to Jimmy Wapo. Now, I want you to hear what's said in this video, and I want you to hear what this lawyer recommends, what this lawyer starts to advocate for. Jimmy Wapo was a rapper. He was caught in a drive-by. I think this might have been his 4th time getting shot. Anyway, let's play it.
Celebrities posting their farewells. There were several public memorials held in Pittsburgh to honor Jimmy Wapo. One of the most notable memorials was a candlelight vigil held in his memory at the corner where he was shot. Hundreds of people attended the vigil, lighting candles and leaving flowers and other mementos. The private funeral service was held at Wesley Center AME Zion Church. Taylor Maglin, Wapo's manager, said seeing the amount of people that showed up shows the support system that he had and how much he meant for the community and the whole city.
This is a huge loss for the city, as I said before, but seeing the amount of people that showed up shows that how much support, shows the support system that he had, and just shows how much he meant to the community as well as the whole city.
Several months after his passing, shocking news reported that RICO charges were being brought against the Hill District's 1100 gang.
So now I want you to look at this picture. I'll make it bigger. Sorry. Now I want you to look at this picture. This is the guy, Jimmy Wapo. And I want you to hear what the lawyer just said, that he was a beloved person in the community. The city responded. They mourned his loss. But I want you to look at this picture and tell me what you see. I want you to look at this picture and tell me what you see. Now, this is who the city loved. He's in a picture with a Glock in his head, in his hand, extended clip, with some purple drink in his hand, and his other partner got an assault rifle next to him. And this is the guy that the community, the kings and queens, love. The city mourned his loss. Okay, so now that we got who he is, let's see what they say about him. Remember, when the heart is black, the devil is light. Let's continue. Rewind just a few seconds.
But seeing the amount of people that showed up shows that how much support, shows the support system that he had, and just shows how much he meant to the community as well as the whole city.
Several months after his passing, shocking news reported that RICO charges were being brought against the Hill District's 1100 gang. The indictment claimed the group spread fear through Pittsburgh by dealing, robbing, and taking out its rivals. The indictment named Deontay Griffin, Sidney Pack, and Richard Kelly as the 3 defendants accused of being part of the 1100 gang. Many of the charges against 1100 were alleged to have originated from an ongoing conflict with rival gang, the Wavy Boys.
22-year-old Deontay Griffin, 20-year-old Sidney Pack, and 23-year-old Richard Kelly, all facing federal racketeering charges.
As the document also identified Jimmy Wapo as a key figure in the organization, it appeared that more light would be shed into why he lost his life. According to federal prosecution documents, Pittsburgh rapper Jimmy Wapo, real name Trayvon Smart, was the most influential member of the 1100 gang. Even though the rapper's passing occurred in July of 2018, the police investigation didn't become public knowledge until August of that year.
Federal court papers say the most prominent leader of the 1100 gang was Pittsburgh rapper Jimmy Wapo, whose real name was Trayvon Smart.
The police pieced together information that painted Jimmy may have been the casualty of a gang war. This claim was supported by the fact that after a member of 1100 named Lumber was slain by the Wavy Boys, the gang's online dissing of each other was escalated. After that, they began trading off body counts until Jimmy was finally eliminated in 2018.
So this is the person that the city loved, the city's mourning. This is the one that everybody has the murals for, candlelight visuals. This is the person. Now, keep in mind, this guy was a part of a gang that killed, that robbed, that sold drugs, that terrorized the community. And when he gets killed as a consequence of his actions, now the city wants to mourn him. When the heart is black, the devil is light. But let's see what the lawyer wants to do after knowing all of this. Now, keep in mind, this is public knowledge. They had a RICO case. So the RICO case has been going on. Young Thug wasn't the first one. His 1100 gang had a RICO case. And they had been investigating him before he got killed. They had been investigating the gang. So he'd have got jammed up anyway. Let's continue.
Could becoming a gang leader have been how he sought to protect himself after getting shot twice? Is it possible he figured that the best way to avoid being hit was to be the one ordering hits? The police suspect that Wapo's gang involvement may have made him a target to rival gangs. And what better way to get revenge on a rival gang than to take out its alleged leader? None of Wapo's people are helping the authorities. The details of the shooting, including the number of shooters.
You can sell this $5 spatula.
It's commercial on, sorry.
Leader. None of Wapo's people are helping the authorities. The details of the shooting, including the number of shooters and the identities.
You live here too. They got me shadow banned beyond belief. I haven't got any followers since 2021. I can only lose followers. I can't gain any. So Instagram is metaverse is very communist, very Marxist, just demons and scumbags, degenerates. I came on these platforms. I told the truth. I didn't come on these platforms demeaning anybody. I didn't come on these platforms giving any false messages. I didn't come on these platforms bashing, no sexual, none of that. I don't do anything that these folks do and still have their accounts up and running and flourishing. But I haven't got a new follower in 3 going on 4 years. All I did was tell the truth. As my boy Battle would say, no lies in my verses. Thank you, though. You live here. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Remain unclear. So far, police have not made any arrest in connection with the crime, and the investigation is ongoing. Wapo started his rap career when he was 14 years old at the Bedford Hope Center Creative Arts Corner recording studio, not far from where the artist lived with his family. Along with fans who loved him in the city of Pittsburgh, Wapo left behind his parents, 2 kids, and a 3rd child on the way. In a touching gesture, Taylor Maglin affirmed in his interview at the funeral that he planned to keep Jimmy Wapo's memory alive through his music by continuing to release the tracks and albums that Wapo had completed before he passed away.
Now, I want you to think about Jimmy Wapo leaving behind 3 children. So not only was he taking lives, but even on his way out, he ruined lives. Think about that. Think about him taking lives while he's alive and then ruining lives when he's gone. Just a complete and utter curse to everyone around him. But yet he gets praised. And the narrator had the audacity to say that he became a gang leader for protection. No, sir. No, sir. he was getting shot at because he was in a gang. And he was a gang leader. He's the target. He's what everybody wants. They tried to clean it up, make him seem like he did it for protection. No, that's not why he did it. He was getting shot at because he was the leader of the gang. He's the one they want to get. And he's the rapper on songs talking about how he's the leader. Bragging to the ops. Again, when the heart is black, the devil is light.
We have multiple songs ready to be released. We have 2 albums that are already completed, ready to release. I'm working with the city and setting up an official day, WAPO Day, get a mural painted in the Hill District of him, just, to keep his memory going.
This guy just said he wants a Jimmy WAPO Day. For what? Think about what he just said. We just established that his crew was stealing, killing, and dealing. And he says he wants a Jimmy WAPO Day with a mural painted. Do you see the pattern here? You got George Floyd. You got Jimmy WAPO. Think about this. Think about what I'm telling you all. Do you understand that these people are telling you to make a deal with Satan? Now, how many folks do you think will agree to have a Jimmy WAPO Day? Most of them. So imagine having a mural. Imagine you are idolizing somebody that's known for stealing, dealing, and killing. And then going into the streets talking about Black Lives Matter. And then going into the street and saying Black Lives Matter. And then getting on TV and saying that Trump is racist. And then getting on TV and saying it's the Republicans' fault. This man just said, I'm trying to get a Jimmy WAPO Day. I want to immortalize somebody that was a criminal. Jimmy WAPO wasn't known for fighting against the system. Jimmy WAPO wasn't known for unifying the people. He wasn't known for uplifting the black. None of that. He was known for stealing, dealing, and killing. When the heart is black, the devil is light. Do you know how wicked a people have to be for someone to come to you and say, we want to immortalize one of you all's killers? We want to put him on the wall, have all the children idolize him? Or better yet, we want to put him on a wall and have the mothers or parents and family members of those he's killed drive by and burst out in tears. Do you all understand that to appeal to blackness, you have to sin? Do you understand that in order to appeal to blackness, you have to sin? There's no righteous way to do it. So that means anybody trying to do something for you, you're going to have to sin to get it. Now, most folks will say, man, why he getting on Jimmy WAPO? Man, Jimmy, we just read what Jimmy WAPO did. We just saw what he did. He wasn't a good person. I'm not making this up. Lives were lost behind Jimmy WAPO. Lives were ruined behind Jimmy WAPO. And I can't say anything because you all like rappers? I can't say anything because this lawyer wants to have a Jimmy Wapo day? It's evil and it's wicked. It's disgusting. But in the community, this is what happens. If you get killed or you die, you're absolved of all your sins. That's not how God works. There's a bill due. You can check out and the bill is still due. But what black folks want to do is black folks want to be accountable. So they've made this up. That when you die, you start over. Your slate is clean. Oh, no, sir, no, ma'am. No king, no queen. It's not how it works. The bill is still due. Let's continue.
This video is for white people. If you're not white, keep strolling. You can stay and listen, but this is specifically for the white Americans. I've been to black weddings. I've been to white weddings. This is my first biracial wedding that we're at right now. And it's so interesting to see because the black people are dancing and the white people are sitting down. And so I just want to know, white people, when you're watching black people dance, like, what are you thinking? What's going through your brain when you're witnessing this happen? Because black people are dancing, they're electric sliding it up. The white people are sitting down at the table watching the black people. And I would love if they joined, because it's like, hey man, this is a wedding, get up and dance. But I get it, not everybody wants to dance, but what are y'all thinking when you're watching black people do their thing on the dance floor? What's in your brain? There's obviously not a problem because you're here in the same shared space, right? But what are you thinking? What's going through your mind as you're witnessing this happen?
Angel Wing said they just don't like rappers. A lot of them literally worship them. True. Anthony said that is the Project 2025 girl. I'm going to say this. So imagine white people at a wedding and them being there doesn't prove they aren't racist. Now you're asking them to share their thoughts. So now you want autonomy over them in the space, and you want them, and you want to know their thoughts. This is no different than when Klaus Schwab says, you're going to have a chip in your head, and I'll be able to know if you believe what I'm saying or not. If you're listening to the speaker or not. I don't know. It's no different. It's no, imagine the kings and queens are in charge. Do you believe that they'll believe in people having freedoms and rights? You know they wouldn't. This woman said, what are you thinking? It's an interrogation. She's telling white people, you don't even have the right to have your own thoughts. Think about what she's saying. She sounds no different than the globalists. We're going to put a chip in your head and know your thoughts. What are you thinking? Imagine if she had the power. You know what she would be doing? Imagine her assuming that these white folks are racist because they aren't dancing. Just think about this. Imagine going to a place and they tell you that you have to dance and tell us what you're thinking. When the heart is black, the devil is light.
Okay, this video is for white people. If you're not white, keep strolling. You can stay and listen, but this is specifically for the white Americans. I've been to black weddings. I've been to white weddings. This is my first biracial wedding that we're at right now. And it's so interesting to see because the black people are dancing and the white people are sitting down. And so I just want to know, white people, when you're watching black people dance, like, what are you thinking? What's going through your brain when you're witnessing this happen? Because the black people are dancing, they're electric sliding it up. The white people are sitting down at the table watching the black people. And I would love if they joined, because it's like, hey man, this is a wedding, get up and dance. But I get it, not everybody wants to dance. But what are y'all thinking when you're watching?
This is an interrogation. It's an interrogation. She's saying that you don't have thought autonomy around us. So to make me feel comfortable, get up and dance so we can make fun of you. Do you know how insecure you have to be to do a video wondering what somebody else was thinking? Not what somebody else did or said. She's doing a video about what somebody else was thinking. Do you know how insecure you have to be? Do you know how weak you have to be? How disgusting you have to be? Do you know how committed to Satan you have to be to make a video trying to thought police a whole group of people?
Watching black people do their thing on the dance floor. What's in your brain? There's obviously not a problem because you're here in the same shared space, right? But what are you thinking?
It's not a problem because you're here in the same shared space. Look how they talk. Listen at how they talk and frame this. You're in a shared space, which means you're in our space. If you all can't see it, I don't know what else to tell you. This is what they want for the future. They want to completely eradicate the Caucasian, where they have no rights, no voice, not even their own thoughts. And it's all justified by the myth of how slavery went. And it will all be justified by the myth of white supremacy, by the myth of white privilege. All based on a lie. This woman did a video on what somebody was thinking. So in other words, what she's really saying is, I know what you're thinking. This is what she's saying. The underlying theme in this video is, because you're over there sitting down watching us, I know what you're thinking, which means you're guilty. This is what privilege is. This is privilege. But it's beyond privilege. It's dangerous. Because she has a voice. She has a platform. She has power. Instagram agrees with her. YouTube agrees with her. Biden agrees with her. Kamala Harris agrees with her. BLM agrees with her. Bill Gates agrees. Anybody with power in this world agrees with her. It's dangerous. Hollywood agrees with her. Social media agrees with her. CNN agrees with her. The Shade Room agrees with her. All of the powerful entities in this world agree with her. And she's saying to the world, I know what white people are thinking, even when they don't speak, even when they're minding their business. Do you know how dangerous that is? That's privilege. Let's continue.
Which language did your mother speak when you were a girl?
I'm not sure what you mean. We all speak English in my family.
I think she means before English. Where your people are from. De meneer waarop spreken Nederlands.
I guess maybe it was so long ago we lost that, whatever it was. I guess now maybe we're just American.
Hoe komt het kind naar buiten komen? Young Fenna wonders how it comes out from your belly, understand? Does it come out different? Like a pony?
These women are joking.
Does it just get up and walk away like a little pony?
My husband and I are helpless, sir. We are at your mercy. If you wish us to leave, you have only to keep your promise and fix our way.
You make demands! How dare you!
Or maybe you never meant to keep that promise. Maybe you lured my husband and I to this place so that we might work ourselves down to the bone for you and your perfect community. Shame. Shame on you.
Husband! I see no go back. That is the shame. Grafton is no more your husband than a randy hawkish husband. Bloated, squealing.
Follow me and I'll keep updating.
Now, this is either a show or a movie. I saw a clip where they burn the people's eyes. Like, it's just, and again, it's propaganda and programming. Because these movies and shows are reinforced by real life propaganda. So these people are supposed to be Dutch. And I don't know the name of it. Anybody know the name of this? I think it's on a show. I'm trying to find it real quick. Is it a show? Let me see. I don't know the name of the. Here it goes. I think this is. Yeah, I don't know what the name of the show is, but this is either a movie or a show, but it's actually real. It's not, it's not a joke. We'll play it again though.
Which language did your mother speak when you were a girl?
I'm not sure what you mean. We all speak English in my family.
I think she means before English. Where your people are from. De meneer waarop spreken Nederlands.
I guess maybe it was so long ago we lost that, whatever it was. I guess now maybe we're just American.
Hoe komt het kind naar buiten komen? Young Fenna wonders how it comes out from your belly, understand? Does it come out different? Like a pony?
These women are joking.
Does it just get up and walk away like a little pony?
My husband and I are helpless, sir. We are at your mercy. If you wish us to leave, you have only to keep your promise and fix our way.
You make demands! How dare you!
Or maybe you never meant to keep that promise. Maybe you lured my husband and I to this place so that we might work ourselves down to the bone for you and your perfect community. Shame. Shame on you.
Husband! I see no go back. That is the shame. Grafton is no more your husband than a randy hawkish husband. Bloated, squealing.
Follow me and I'll keep updating.
So what they're doing is, again, they're not going to show you any positive images of white people. So that means they're going to fabricate history. They're going to fabricate. They're just going to make stuff up. So, in 50 years, the mainstream history is going to be totally different than it is now. Everything we know now will be underground. It'll be illegal to say. It'll be secret. It'll be a whole subculture following with the truth. This, you know, it's gonna be crazy. But anyway, this movie or show is again the way to psychologically keep programming you. They show you these images constantly, then they reinforce it with propaganda in the real world. So CNN comes back and they reinforce this Hollywood production. They're all in cahoots. And I did a video today talking about how they want you to identify as a slave. Because your subconscious can't distinguish this being reality and this being something that's fake. It can't. Because most Black folks consume this and get emotionally opened up to it, and they already receive it. So their subconscious thinks this is real. Because the emotion behind watching this stuff is the same as if it was something in real life. I can't remember the name of it though. But yeah, it's just utter foolishness. And it's not even good writing. And again, it doesn't have to be good writing. It's not really making any, like, think about it. They make these movies and stuff now. The writing is terrible. The plot is weak. The scenes don't flow seamlessly. Like they don't even care. They just want you to get that programming injection. Most films nowadays are trash. They just want you to get programmed. Kofi said, in 50 years, they'll be calling Hunter Biden the son of an abolitionist, right? JV Chanel said, I was at dinner with my boyfriend's mother this evening. Her jaw dropped when I told her Black people owning other Blacks in the South. That won't even exist in 50 years. Why didn't she film the white people sitting down? I don't know what that means. What do you mean by that?
Woman, I'm just saying. Here's another picture of her. And there's something familiar about her smile. The person who did create something for her online, created a profile for her on Ancestry.com. Look what he put. He lists her name as Vioris Anita Iris Cambridge. She got remarried in 1990.
Oh, I got you. Why didn't she at the wedding? My bad, y'all. Why didn't she film them sitting down? Because she knows they look like she was crazy. You're like, what are you doing? Because she knows, that's why she had to sneak off and whisper into the camera, because she knows she's lying and being deceitful. I want you all to think about what I'm telling you all. The people that appeal to you all, and I'm speaking to the audience that will hopefully watch this, the people that appeal to you all, they can only appeal to you all through lies and deception. You understand you all have already been given over to Satan because folks can't approach you with the truth. They have to lie to you. They have to deceive you. Think about what I'm telling you. The people that appeal to you all have to do it with wickedness and evil. They can't do it with God. That means that most of you all have already been given over to reprobate mind. You've already been given over. We can't even approach you with truth.
A white woman. I'm just saying. Here's another picture of her. And there's something familiar about her smile. The person who did create something for her online, created a profile for her on Ancestry.com. Look what he put. He lists her name as Vioris Anita Iris Cambridge. She got remarried in 1994 in America and that's where she picks up the name McPherson. What did Janet Jackson say? She said that she heard that Kamala's father, Donald J. Harris, was Irish. Was she so crazy to mention that, press? Would it be so crazy if you guys did your actual job and looked into these things as opposed to constantly trying to obscure things to protect your preferred candidates? If we find out that that woman is Kamala's real grandmother and that she decided to appropriate the domestic help as her grandmother, we are watching one of the most diabolical political moves that we have ever seen in the history of this country. You come for Janet Jackson, you're coming for all of us. You come for one, you're coming for the whole tribe now. We're not doing the wacko jacko thing to every black person that has a thought. A white woman.
So let me fast forward it. So basically, this is Kamala's grandmother. So now we know that her paternal grandmother is not black. Her maternal grandmother is not black. So this is what we know. Now, many people are saying her race doesn't matter, but all you all are talking about is her race. Joe Biden said he was going to pick a black VP. So her race has been the discussion this entire time. It's never not been the discussion. Even when she wasn't black, she was Indian. Her race has always been the discussion. But now when the truth comes out, now race doesn't matter. Now Trump is wrong. Trump is wrong for what he said, but this woman is lying about her race. She belongs to the highest caste of Brahmin Indian, and her family on her father's side descends from Irish who owned slaves. There is nothing about her existence that is black. Nothing. Zero. But it doesn't matter. Because when the heart is black, the devil is light. So exposing Kamala doesn't matter. You know why? Because the Bliggitties don't care. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about facts. They care about what it looks like and what it feels like. The Bliggitties have already been given over to a reprobate mind. They've been talking about Kamala as black this entire time. And the moment the truth comes out, now it doesn't matter. But you're only voting for her because you said she was black. So if she isn't black anymore, then why are you voting for her? I'll tell you, because you all share the same spirit of lying, of deceit, of wickedness. If somebody shows you the truth and it doesn't change your mind, you are already working with Satan. If a person shares the truth with you and it doesn't change your mind, you have already made the deal with Satan. The lies entertain, but the truth convicts. And when the truth no longer convicts you, you are fully given over to Satan, which means you're going to be one of the ones to usher in the Antichrist. Let's continue.
Different. Remember what she said when Joe Biden called to say he was dropping out? Remember Kamala Harris told Dana Bash over at CNN.
My family was staying with us, and including my baby nieces, and we had just had pancakes and Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?"
All right, so we have it down. Pancakes, Auntie can have more bacon. Great, I'll cook some more bacon. Let's do a puzzle. Joe Biden calls. Well, this is what she said to All the Smoke podcast.
And that one morning, I had, I don't know, a few hours sleep. And I like to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I just got up, so I just went out and got a pork roast and started marinating.
See, time to work. Get to your happy place.
And my family happened to be in town, so they were very happy about the whole situation. But I just got up and started, everybody's asleep, I just got up and started cooking.
All right, so which is it? Everybody was asleep. You went and got a pork roast and started marinating it. Everybody was sleeping. She just started cooking. But what about the pancakes and the puzzle and the bacon? I'm asking for a friend. I'm wondering, did I miss something? It seems as though she's had two different stories about what happened when she found out. You tell me. Come on.
So I wanted to dissect real quick what she's telling white America. Listen.
Well, that's different. Remember what she said when Joe Biden called to say he was dropping out? Remember Kamala Harris told Dana Bash over at CNN.
My family was staying with us. And including my baby nieces. And we had just had pancakes and, Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll make you more bacon. And then we were sitting down to do a puzzle. And the phone rang, and it was Joe Biden. And he told me what he had decided to do. And I asked him, "Are you sure?"
All right, so we have it.
So for America, she paints a picture of family, pancakes in the morning, everybody's around. Auntie, can I have more bacon? Yes, I'll fry it on up for you. So more bacon, pancakes. Let's do some puzzles. She's painting a picture to make the average American think that she is this great person. Again, it's all a lie, but most folks don't mind liars. But she's lying. So she's telling this story to appeal to the average American that she's this down home, non-superficial person that everybody loves. And she's just painting this scene from a television show in the 80s. Auntie, more bacon. Now, let's see how she wants to appeal to the bliggities.
Have it down. Pancakes. Auntie can have more bacon. Great. I'll cook some more bacon. Let's do a puzzle. Joe Biden calls. Well, this is what she said to All the Smoke podcast.
And that one morning, I had, I don't know, a few hours sleep. And I like to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I just got up, so I just went out and got a pork roast and started marinating.
See, time to work. Get to your happy place.
And my family happened to be in town, so they were very happy about the whole situation. But I just got up and started, everybody's asleep, I just got up and started cooking.
All right, so which is it? Everybody was asleep.
So when it came to the bliggities, she said, everybody was asleep. I went to the store, got a pork roast, because y'all like pork. I went to the store and got a pork roast and just started cooking. I got up in the morning and started cooking for my family. Like Big Mama and them used to do. Both of them lies. Both lies. Two different stories for two different audiences. So what do you think Kamala's going to do when she gets in office? If Kamala is lying about who her grandmother is, lying about being black, lying about what she was doing when she got the call that Joe Biden was dropping out of the race, like if she lies about all of this stuff, what will she do as president? Have you ever seen a liar do a good job as a leader? Have you all ever seen a liar have good results in what they do? We've never seen it. We've never seen it. Let me go to one more video. I think this might be it right here. I think this might be it.
Yeah.
You've always been secure in your identity, who
Yeah.
you are, but what do you feel or what do you think when you hear people kind of questioning just the fabric of who you are?
Well, one, I don't listen to it.
Okay.
I'm really clear about who I am, and if anybody else is not, they need to go through their
That's
own
their
level of
issues.
therapy. That's not my
That's
issue.
their issues, right?
My mother was very clear. She was raising two black girls to be two proud black women. And now,
How can an Indian woman raise two black girls to be proud black girls? Okay, I'll give you an example of the hypocrisy. If a white mother said, I'm raising my two biracial daughters who are, the father is black, I'm raising my two biracial daughters to be proud black women, what would people say? What would black people say if a white woman said, I'm raising my two biracial daughters who are half black, half white to be proud black women? What would black people say? You know and I know that black people would say that's impossible. Black folks would say a white woman can't teach black girls how to be proud black women. That's what they would say. But when it comes to Kamala, an Indian woman from India is able to do it. Okay.
it was never a question. You know, it's funny because over the years, journalists, some, not most, will want to talk about it. And I say, okay, if you want to have this conversation, I'm prepared to have it, but sit down and get comfortable for a few hours. If you want to start talking about race in America, you want to talk about the 1/8 rule?
A drop.
You want to talk about?
So my question is, and I disproved this on my last live about the 1/8 rule. I just showed you all the girl, she showed her father is black and her mother is white, but she looks white, and black folks say she ain't black. So I want to tell you all that I have receipts for you all not agreeing with the 1/8 rule. There's receipts. There's no black person that says if you're even a quarter black, you're black. There's no black person that will say if you're a fourth black that you're black. They're not going to say it. So clearly, if you're 1/8 black, it's not going to count, clearly. So the one drop rule is a farce. Black folks don't apply the one drop rule. Because to be honest with you, I would venture to say that most people in the world probably got at least 1/8. They're probably 1/8 bliggity. Most people in the world are 1/8 black. What are we talking about? Most people in the world probably have 1/8 of black in them. What are we talking about? So Matt Barnes with the good hair is saying one drop, knowing good and well, y'all don't believe that. The only way to support Kamala Harris is to make a deal with Satan. The only way to support Joe Biden is to make a deal with Satan. The only way to support the Democrats is to make a deal with Satan, because you're going to have to lie. You're going to have to cheat. You're going to have to be dishonest. You're going to have to lack morals and character. There's no way to do it truthfully. They know she's lying. Kamala Harris's father said he's not black. Why would he be black? He's Irish and Indian. That's what he is. He's Irish and Indian. East Indian. Kamala's mother is full East Indian. There's no black in sight. just like the library. There's no black in sight. That was a cold joke. That was a cold joke. But my point is, everybody knows she's lying. But the only way to support this is to go along with the lie. This woman then went back to the 1/8 rule. Why would that be a reference if you're saying that you're already black? How does that even apply to you? And again, her race mattered when Joe Biden said, I'm guaranteeing you all I'm going to have a black vice president. That's what makes her race matter. Not what Trump said, not what I said, not what the truth says. What makes this matter is that you all are riding on the fact that you all are saying she's going to be the first female black president. You're voting for her because of that. Let's continue.
What it means in terms of who you are perceived to be and the impact that can have on the rest of your life, regardless of who you actually are in terms of your God-given capacity and the rights that you have and should have. So, I don't mess with that. I think that's other people trying to figure some stuff out that they
got some issues.
So now she's saying how you're perceived to be. So now we done reduce black to just perception. Now we have reduced black to just a perception. Now keep in mind, you all canceled racial dojo. But just a few years later, you want Rachel Patel to be the president of the United States. Now, just a few years ago, you canceled Rachel Dolezal. But just a few years later, now you want Rachel Patel to be the president. Her mother's side of the family belongs to the highest caste of Indian. Her mother's side of the family is well off. Her father's side of the family is descendants of Irish slaves and Indians that were migrated to Jamaica. So slavery on one side, highest caste on the other, and she's trying to convince you that she's one of y'all. We may have time for one more. When the heart is black, the devil is light. Let me get one more on here. Well, maybe two more. So basically, they're in Africa and they're selling spiritual protection, customized African spirituality science bulletproof dashikis. So he's using a gun to show that the vest is, that the dashiki is bulletproof. but not bulletproof because of a metal plate in there, bulletproof because of the spirituality. I'm just muting the sound. But so it's a bulletproof dashiki. Again, it's the customized African spirituality science bulletproof dashiki. Now listen, you all. I know you all love the motherland and you all are fascinated with pyramids and ankhs, but for the love of everything sacred, do not purchase this dashiki and try to use it in real life. You're going to get smoked. I'm just telling you all, don't purchase this spiritual dashiki, bulletproof dashiki, and try to use it. You're going to be leaking somewhere. Don't do it. I know you love the people, the pyramids, the ankhs, the motherland, all that's good. I'm just telling you now, do not purchase this dashiki because you're going to end up asleep somewhere permanently. Like one more video.
You know, at least this isn't slick asphalt. Yeah. You know, some of that asphalt gets like a lot of traffic. It's slick. Just keep on going. Now, are you coming up or we...
So, what you just saw, I'll play it again. We are working to coordinate bringing supplies into areas affected by Hurricane Helen by packed mule strings. We are planning to head to Weaverville, North Carolina tomorrow, but available to go to other areas of need as well. Please reach out to us at 910-885-1402. If you know of specific needs and areas that we can get our mule strings in to help, we can bring supplies or packs in what your group has acquired already. Or pack in what your group has acquired already. Praying for those affected by Helen. Now, the roads are messed up, so they can't travel by car. So these Caucasians aren't letting the road stop them. Now, keep in mind, the Bliggities don't care about this. The Bliggities are saying white folks deserve this to happen. Two different cultures. The Bliggities are saying that the Caucasians deserve this. The Caucasians are saying nobody deserves this, and if we can't drive there, then we'll get there by horseback to get the folks their insulin so they don't die. So I'll just play it again, and you can just see that the roads are messed up, and they're having to travel to bring the insulin by horseback because folks need it. And again, the conservative white Christian culture, or I should say the Christian conservative white culture, is not built on excuses. They are built on problem solving. They are built on order. They are built on structure. Now, keep in mind, the Bliggity said that the hurricanes were former slaves that jumped off the boat or got tossed off the boat into the Atlantic Ocean. So they said the white folks deserve it. The white folks are saying, we're going to risk everything we have to make sure others live. Two different cultures, two different results. One culture will be used to usher in the Antichrist. The other culture will be used, will be hunted down and persecuted for daring to do what's right in the face of a global agenda, for daring to still follow God in this global agenda. One group will be ushering in the Antichrist, and the other group will be fighting against it. I'll say it again. One culture will be ushering in the Antichrist, and the other culture will be fighting against it. Listen, you all, I love you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you, Vintage Goods Willie. The spirit of slaves were waiting on Gilligan's Island until now. Vintage Goods Willie said the spirit of slave were waiting on Gilligan's Island until now. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Cruise Missile, thank you so much. Always supporting. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. The Thunder Squad, it was curry barbecue pork roll, hits all demographics. I think he's talking about Kamala's dish in Kamala's dish in the morning. Thank you, the Thunder Sound. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Angel Wings, for moderating. Thank you so much. Thank you for Goddess Nabi for moderating as well. I love you all. Thank y'all so much. I love you all in the chat. Remember, there's never too late. And though it tarries not. And God will give you back the years the locusts ate up. Those wasted years, God will give it back to you. Super sticker from Zachary. Thanks. Enjoy the live. Enjoy the chat. Thank you so much, Zachary. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Anyway, I love you all, and I will see you all again on maybe Friday or Saturday. But listen, I love you all. Thank you all so much.